What is up, guys? Tomorrow drops a massive balance change in Clash Royale. Today we're going to be discussing all the cards that are going to be changed, what I recommend you change in your decks, and let me know down below your comments on what you think about this balance change. The biggest change that is happening is this card right here. The mirror card is getting the biggest buff like I've ever seen, almost to the point that the mirror card might be overpowered. You see, Supercell gets pissed when players don't use their cards. Supercell continues to buff the card until you start using the card, and that's what they're going to do with the mirror. The mirror, now when you mirror something, it's going to increase the level of that card by 1. Do you know how huge that is? If I'm running a level 8 giant and then I mirror the giant, that mirror giant will be a level 9. For me to get from a level 8 to level 9 giant through upgrading is very, very difficult. Takes a lot of cards. I'll probably never get there in the game. And for people who are maxed out, they can actually go one level higher than their max. That's pretty cool. Where this becomes significant is tournament play or friendly play, where the card levels are capped. Now you can actually mirror and get your cards above the cap level, so your legendaries can go one level up, your rares can go one level up. Absolutely huge for tournament play. That's the biggest buff. The second biggest change, in my opinion, is this right here. The rage spell is now getting reduced in cost. Instead of costing 3 elixir, it's going to cost 2 elixir. And this makes perfect sense because nobody's using the rage spell anymore. Why would you use rage spell when you could run lumberjack and just watch him poop out a rage? It doesn't make any sense. For 4 elixir versus 3, this guy can run, do damage, and do a rage spell. Did not make sense. So this is a welcome change from 3 to 2 elixir costs. To avoid the card becoming too overpowered, they're going to reduce the radius for the rage spell from 40% down to 30%. And in keeping with that, they're going to reduce the radius for the rage of the lumberjack from 40% to 30%. Now, a lot of you have told me that the lumberjack is overpowered. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but this is a little bit of a nerf, probably not too much to get people to stop playing with the card. I mean, 40 to 30%, as long as the troops are close to you, you're still going to get raged. The third biggest change, in my opinion, so we did mirror, we did rage spell, now we're talking about the giant. The giant has become overpowered. It's used so much in the meta. The giant poison spells are all over the place. So why, this card that was around since the beginning of the game, why is it getting nerfed now? What the heck is going on? I'm going to tell you why. I love the giant, okay? Look at him. He's so freaking awesome. I've loved him since Clash of Clans. It's my favorite Supercell character. For some reason, I just like the giant. I think I know why, because back in Clash of Clans, it was like the first card I got good at using to be able to 3-crown or 3-star Clash of Clans bases. Here's the reason why the giant's getting nerfed. Because of this, I'll show you right here. Because of new cards they've added. They've added Fire Spirits. They've added Poison. They've added Ice Spirits. Even the Princess was a newer legendary. All these cards are splash damage cards, and they wreck little troops. And so all these new cards are helping to clear the path for the giant. So where the giant really had a hard time getting to the tower, not a really hard time, where the giant, it was more difficult to get to the tower. Now with all these stuff to go in and clear the path for the giant, it's becoming overpowered and it's becoming overused. So the change they're going to make, it sounds small, but it's significant, and I'll tell you why. 5% reduction in damage. 5% isn't a lot, but how many times does the giant punch the crown tower? Typically 4, maybe 5 times. Well, 4 times 5, what's the math, kids? What's the math? That's 20% less damage. 4 times 6, that's 30% less damage. So if you think about that, each hit is doing 5% less damage. That is a significant change, and so I think that change was necessary to help balance. I absolutely 100% agree with that. The other really cool one is the lightning. I don't see a lot of lightnings. Lightning's going to work the same way that it always has. You got the lightning that's going to hit up to 3 things, crown tower, 2 troops, or 3 troops, and they're adding a stun effect that's going to last half a second long, which is like a lightning and zap combined. This is really cool because now you can use the lightning to reset Sparky. Now you can use the lightning to go ahead and reset Inferno, plus do the massive amount of damage. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more lightning usage. It's just really expensive at 6 elixir cost for a spell, you know what I'm saying? And the other one, which I literally just bought this thing, the log. The log is a great card. I need to learn how to use it, but it does a lot of damage on like goblins and other skeletons, things like that, ground troops. Well, the way the log works now, it doesn't push all the troops back. If you're a golem, you're a giant, you're a royal giant, any bigger card like that, any bigger troop like that, doesn't get pushed back. Well, with this, again. Supercell gets pissed when people don't use their cards and not enough people are using the log, so they said, you know what? We're going to make the log push back everything, which this puny little log going to push back a golem. Come on, Supercell, that doesn't make any sense at all. But it's going to push back all the troops. Doesn't matter what it is. If it's ground, you throw the log out, it's getting pushed back. Why? This is important because now your crown tower could get 2 hits off, maybe 3 hits off more because of that pushback. Also, it gives your troops more of a chance to go ahead and hit. Let's see, what else? We hit everything. We talked about Lumberjack. Oh, the least change of all. Bombers getting 2% less health, 2% more damage. That one doesn't really make sense. We're going to go ahead and we're going to do a live attack. We're going to play with this random deck with these cards. I'm going to get absolutely wrecked because this deck is so random, but we're going to play with all the cards that are either getting a nerf or a buff, and let's see what we can do. We've got our log, we've got our rage. I've got nothing to defend against air. He's going to run giant, I'm going to run giant. That's what we're going to do. He's running level 7, I'm running level 8. I don't have any support troops. This is kind of an expensive deck. Wish I had started with my elixir pump. And you know what we're going to do? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go YOLO. We're going to go YOLO. Let's go Lumberjack. And let's lightning over here. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? That was kind of stupid. Come on. We've got nothing. We've got nothing. He's going to get rage. We're going to get wrecked really quick. But hey, whatever. I just wanted to play with all the cards that are getting changed. So he dropped a rage. Those minions coming up. We're going to get a few hits off. That Musketeer is going to get a few hits off on us. Let's try to reset with an Elixir Collector. This is going to go down quick. So let me know down below. What are your thoughts about the balance changes? Are you going to be making any changes to your decks? What will you be adding? What will you be getting rid of? I actually agree with all of the balance changes. All of the balance changes that Supercell made here. I think that they're spot on. They're absolutely right. The other thing people were asking me is, Chase, why don't you show like the other updates, like the Mega Minion? You know, they're going to be adding 1 card. Here comes his minions, by the way. We're going to rage the Lumberjack. Is that ironic? We've got nothing to take care of his minions, unfortunately, and that's what's going to do us in. We actually would have done okay had it not been for him having minions. There's a double rage on that giant. Wish they overlapped on each other. We're going to let ourselves die while I finish up with this thought. People always say, Chase, why don't you cover more of the updates? The stuff that's coming, and the reason for that is I'm not partnered with Supercell. I'm not big enough, you know. I don't really have any YouTuber friends in the Supercell community, unfortunately. Ironically, a lot of the people who are partnered with Supercell, they don't even have videos featured on Supercell's official website. I've got 2, but those guys get early access to look at these new troops. So what I know is every 2 weeks they're dropping a new troop. They're changing some tournament stuff. We have the balance changes. A lot of stuff going on in Clash Royale right now, and I'll bring updates where I can find information, but until I get partnered, maybe that'll happen someday. I can't bring you like the sneak peeks, unfortunately. But you know what? Really, I just want to tell you guys thank you, because even though I'm not a partnered Supercell person, you guys continue to come here, support me, and help me out, and I just appreciate you as a viewer, and thank you so much for that. All right, guys, take care. Peace.